Hi, friends. I was talking to French people here, and I was trying to start this live stream by two realities. One, I've already spent the whole day napping, so I'm not really in the mood to nap anymore right now. And two, I saw a comment by Winston's mom saying that she expected Jack to upload a response to my Socionics Destroyed video. I don't care if Jack uploads a response. I've invited him to debate me plenty of times. He needs to man up and answer my questions in real time. That's what he can't do. So that's why I'm right. You see, I can answer all his questions in real time. He can't answer any of mine. He's avoiding it. So no, that's not going to fly. Sorry. I'm not even going to watch it. I don't care what he thinks. If he wants to argue with me about it, then he can come argue with me about it. Otherwise, what I'm saying is stands, That's it. What I'm saying makes lots of sense, and everything else just doesn't make any sense, and that's all there is to it. Hi, MT. How's it going? So just to clarify that, anybody who wants to come debate Socionics with me, fine. If you just want to make a bunch of response videos to my truth, then no. If you're serious, you'll debate me about it. You'll answer my questions in real time. Otherwise, you're not serious. That's all there is to it. Just like with typing somebody, to pull out the ideas, I need to ask you questions. You need to answer them and be held to your answers and have to squirm around underneath your answers. That's what everybody has to do when they're dealing with me. They have to answer my questions and squirm around with their answers. Just how it goes. Hi, Isaac Roddy. What's up? Not a whole hell of a lot. It's sleepy week. It's like the first full day of sleepy week, and I'm sleeping my ass off. But I was just annoyed slightly going through some comments on something. I'm annoyed to read what Winston's mom had written, namely that Jack was going to prepare a video response to this. No, I have tried to get this guy to debate me so many fucking times. He needs to come actually debate me. Get his wiener out from between his legs and come debate me. I don't want to play I make a video, you make a video. Socionics is enough of a significant thing that we need to put it to bed once and for all, We need to make sure that everybody understands Socionics is weak and loses. And the only way that's going to happen is if Jack actually steps up to the plate and gets his ass whooped by me, which he will. I didn't look at it. I'm not going to look at it. That's my point. I'm not going to play video for video. I've tried to get this guy to fucking debate me many, many times. And it's very simple, very straightforward. He needs to answer my questions in real time so that everybody can see how weak he is. He wants to avoid that. That's not my fucking problem. I'm not going to play tit for tat video for video. I'm right about it. He needs to actually debate me about it or just fucking step the fuck back. I've invited him enough times. I don't care what his video says. Couldn't fucking care less. Won't watch it. Then he can come debate me, the little puss. He can come debate me. If he wants to be a little puss and talk shit, he can come debate me. He doesn't know anything. He can't answer any of my questions. That's why he's avoided it for months now. Months, despite me chasing his ass down multiple times. There you go. There you go. He can be as spicy as he wants. He's still puss until he comes fucking debate me. Yeah. What does that mean, faking the funk? Is he faking this being a coward or is it real? I don't know. I have chased his ass around trying to get him to debate me. So that's enough of that. I'm not listening. I'm not even watching a stupid fucking video. It's so simple. He can come debate me face to face, man to man, or just keep his mouth shut. That's it. This is something where he's a World Socionic Society. Defend his position. Okay, well, it's not because I'm too talented in this case. It's because I'm right. He can't answer any of my questions. And he's weak as fuck as a consequence for trying to even say anything at all. He just keep his mouth shut. I'm talking about Jack from Socionic Society. He wants to make a video talking shit, but he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to dance. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, I'm going to disassemble the fuck out of his wrongness. That's what I'm going to do. If it disturbs him or gets him scared, then he should keep his fucking mouth shut. Right? No doubt about that. All these people want to talk shit. Never want to come talk shit to me face to face. Why is that? How much respect should we give to people who don't want to come have it out with me face to face like a man? Not very much. I never expected Jack to fall into the category of C.S. Joseph. Somebody who talks shit from the shadows and won't actually come and fucking debate me. Well, too fucking bad for them. They need to man up then. Stop being so attached to their worldviews. Well, then they better keep their mouths shut. That's my point. He claims there's no need for a universal perspective. Well, then, of course, he can't model it. How can he link things back to each other? There's no linkage within the system. He doesn't understand what operational terms means. He doesn't understand what it needs to have a criterion for anything. Ridiculous. People want to talk shit, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So they talk from the shadows because they won't talk to me because they're cowards. He said I'm highly intelligent and need to go over socionics. Yeah, well, he can suck it. The one who's highly intelligent is the one who wins the argument. It doesn't matter what the person is. It matters what the arguments are. Right? It doesn't fucking matter if I'm intelligent or not. What matters, what should matter to him and what should matter to everybody else, is that I'm right and he's wrong. And we know this in part because he won't come here and debate me. He's going to cower in the shadows continually. Jack from the World Socionics Society. The fuck he will. I'll call him out like everybody else. No, he's busy all the time. He's always busy. That's his reason, Mike Hart. I chased his ass around for quite some time before I give up chasing his ass around. I don't care to give it because that's playing into his game. That's allowing him to frame walk me. He needs to man up and come have a conversation with me face to face and stop being a puss. I have a lot of questions about socionics. A lot of questions. Basic things like, what's a cognitive function? Are they all the same kind of thing? Okay. So why do we call them functions? What do they exactly do? Are they things you have? Are they just perspectives? Are they mechanically related at all? Basic fucking questions that anybody with an adequate model would be able to understand and answer. He's terrified of those basic fucking questions. Absolutely terrified of them. So I don't want to hear another fucking word from him until he mans up. I'm not going to contribute. I'm not going to enable his pusillanimous bullshit. I'm not going to enable it. Who's Jeff? There's no fucking way I'm going to enable his weakness, right? By going and watching his stupid ass video. My point is that Socionics is wrong. He needs to get in here and fucking win the argument then. It's that simple. He can't win the argument. He doesn't deserve to be considered right by anybody. I mean, I don't care if he's a kid or not. He's not a kid. He's like 20-something. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't start out having any problem with this guy at all. I assumed that we would have a debate soon enough and that he learned the error of his ways. Okay? Then fucking get Golenko. If he's too much of a puss, get Golenko to come out here and debate me. I'll whoop his ass too. You think Golenko can handle himself with me? Oh, what? No, he's been doing this for fucking years. He's been around the YouTube as long as I have, pretty much. Okay? He might be a little younger than late 20s, but he's over 20 for sure. And regardless, he's a real ENTP. Don't ask me to give him slack he does not deserve. Okay? He's a real ENTP. Real ENTPs is a burden that comes along with that. You got to actually fucking be right. You can't just be blowing smoke. You can't just be blowing smoke if you're the World Socionics Society. Sorry, Jack. Doesn't work like that. And if he doesn't want to handle it, then get fucking Victor Galenko out here to debate me. Because Galenko can't handle me either. Make that abundantly clear. Hey, Victor in Russia, you don't need to puss out either. You can come debate me. Victor, hey, you're wrong. Everything you say about personality type, cognitive function is all wrong. It's all based on fundamentally flawed model making. So, if you think you have any case at all, come debate me. Otherwise, just keep your mouth shut, Victor. Keep it shut. Right now, Jack. Right fucking now. Let's go. Autonomy. We'll do it right now. I am done with you, my friend. You are done with your nonsense. Let me guess. Once again, Jack doesn't want to debate right now. Let's go. Finally. That's what it takes to get you to debate me, huh? Oh, you can't right now again. Well, then fuck off, Jack. Again. You can be up and here. This happens every fucking time, Jack. You're awake enough to be here, to comment in this live chat, but you don't have time to debate me. Every time, Jack. Every time. You cannot tell me this is the reality every single time. Every time I approach you about this. Good night, Jack. There you go, friends and neighbors. That's how it goes every single time I try to debate him. It has 4 months. So, there you go. That sums it up. I say right now, he says no thanks. This is every single time.
Yeah, it is.
All right, you name a time. Name a time. Fine, World Socionics Society. I'm going to let you win this one. I told you before, I don't like to schedule shit like this in advance, but I'm going to let you win this one. Go ahead. Name a time. Name a time, Jack. Hey, Jack, what did I just fucking say? Hey, shit for brains. Name a time. Name a time. This weekend is not a time, retard. I'll book it with you. I'll schedule it for you. What time? What time? 11 p.m. UTC plus 1. Let me see what that translates to Los Angeles time. To Los Angeles time. What fucking time is that? Why can't I get a straightforward answer? What time is it Los Angeles time? Can somebody tell me? 7 p.m. on Saturday? 7 p.m. Los Angeles on Saturday? Do I have anything else going on Saturday that I can think of? Well, I guess I'm on Friday. Saturday night, 7 p.m. Saturday. Okay, fine. Book it. Autonomy. Here's the link, Jack. Or we can Google Hangouts it either way. If we have trouble with the autonomy room, we'll Google Hangouts it, okay? Wait, 3 p.m.? 3 p.m. for me. 3 p.m. on Saturday. 3 p.m. on Saturday. I don't think I have anything. I just I fucking hate scheduling things. Okay, fine. 3 p.m. on Saturday. 3 p.m. my time on Saturday. Good. See you then. We'll see if we'll see you then. I don't know if I'll actually see you then. I think you were very much hoping I was going to, once again, not allow you to control the frame, as I shouldn't have, and refuse to book in advance, which is stupid. But anyway, I agreed to it because I really want to see if you actually show up. So you start off winning a point unfairly. You get it in your frame for no reason. And you make me mad too. I have scheduled this stupid shit with you as you want it. Okay, you got your way. Here, I'll be here Saturday, 3 p.m. my time, and your ass is toast. You know, the problem with you, here's why your ass is toast, Jack. It has nothing to do with my debate skills. It has everything to do with the fact that you're wrong and don't know what the fuck it is you're trying to describe. And that is why it's not going to be a pleasant afternoon for you Saturday. I mean, sure, of course, I'll prove it. Yeah. Alexander, I don't mean to be talking too much trash ahead of time. But my point is, the reason he's going to lose is because he's wrong, not because I'm a better debater. In other words, this isn't a debate, it's a case testing symposium, and his is going to fail any case testing, and mine's going to pass any case testing, and that's why I'm going to win. And it's not talking trash, it's the reality of what we're saying. What I'm saying is correct, and what he's saying is false, and that is why I'm going to win. It's that simple. Look, Socionics, one of the reasons why I need to debate him, for sure, is because nobody can answer any of my questions about Socionics. This is the problem. This is how you know it's on the wrong track. When people who want to talk Socionics at all cannot answer any of my questions, you know they're talking out their ass. Because I'm just trying to ask basic questions to make sure that they're right about things. And when they can't answer those basic questions, you know they're talking out their ass. That's one of the questions I want to do. I want to know, Winter, what is Socionics even trying to do? What is it doing? What does it think itself to be? Can Jack answer that question? He'll have to be prepared for it now. He'll play Effie, ever the calm Englishman. Well, you see, then he made a terrible mistake in scheduling it with me. He made a terrible mistake in scheduling it because what do you think? You think I'm going to be weaker after a few days of thinking about it in advance? Think I'm going to be more susceptible to FE shit? Not at all. This is sleepy week too. I'm not even adding up. I'm just pissed because I am tired of people dissembling in general. I am tired of people dissembling. There should be no more dissembling in my world. Those who wish to avoid my questions are going to have them slammed down their fucking throat because that's the only way that we can ever be correct as a society about anything. This COVID thing's convinced me that my management of narratives is critically important to the well-being of society. After all, if I had been in charge of the narratives, none of this bullshit would be happening right now. Look, the bottom line is, by the time I get to Saturday afternoon, I will have a lot of questions in mind, specific questions that I'm going to ask him. They're all questions I can answer, but he won't be able to answer. Now, I find it very difficult to imagine that he's going to have an equivalent list of questions that he can answer about his system that I can't answer about mine. That's the problem he faces, argumentationally. He can try to dissemble all he wants, flip around, muddy definitions, make things less clear instead of more clear, but obfuscation is not going to win the day. Oh no! I mean, I'll be thinking about it until Saturday, of course. I'll be thinking about it until Saturday. Ghostwriter asks, Rachel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, Ghostwriter.
Yeah, very nice of you. Thanks for asking, Ghostwriter. What do I think about jumpers? Complete bullshit. Well, I mean, that's one of the challenges in talking about how to negate Socionics is that it's like it avoids it avoids core questions, and so you have to be talking to somebody. This is the problem I've had all the whole time in trying to negate socionics. Is where do you even begin? The answer is very small. You begin very in a very specific point, but it's very large in scope. So it's like you begin with the fact that it doesn't know what it is, or can't explain what it is, or isn't consistently anything. So, well, the thing is, I doubt that Jake, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go in there. Like I said, this is a mistake he's made to schedule it with me. It's a big mistake. It's my 1 week spot. Is that I always want to do things on the fly. I never prepared for anything. Because she's smoking bong rips, of course.
Yeah.
But she's coughing. We both want to get shirts that say, "I'm coughing because I smoke."
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just pulling bong rips. That's why she was coughing. She does not have COVID.
No. I wore the mask that my mom sent to me today. I went up to my mom. Thanks for the mask hookup.
Yeah, thanks, Richard's mom, for the mask. Appreciate it.
It's.
I have a homemade mask that I wear. Why? Because now it's like you can't go into stores without a mask.
Mm-hmm. But.
And I tell you what this also creates. It creates this hilarious phenomenon of we are down to the point now, the ridiculous spot of mask theater. Seriously, that's what I see in the stores. Mask theater. There's always some people in the store who have their mask off of their nose and just sort of kind of over their mouth, and are frustrated by it. Socionics attempts to use cognitive functions, but it's inconsistent in a lot of different ways that I'll try to pull out of Jack tomorrow or Saturday. That's what it basically boils down to. Will I be able to pull this shit out of him? That's the question. And I think, yeah, I will. I know which questions to ask. The problem is, like I said, he's making an advocacy for something that doesn't have a central notion of what it is. It's fundamentally going to be guilty of mission creep as a consequence. And since it doesn't distinguish between kinds of things that it is, then, he's not going to be able to answer those questions. And he's going to try to ask basically, well, why should we answer these questions? Why does it matter if we answer these questions? He's going to attack the prime directive notion. Well, okay, but I mean, it is the case, though, that people try to match territory and map. It's a basic fact, See, here's the thing about this pending debate. It's an odd debate format because we're both making affirmations. And presumably we are both Missy Davenport, you talking to me? So what that means is we're both going to end up doing some negationary work and some affirmational work at the same time in our okay. So a good question would be whether either of the two systems is scientifically valid and to what extent they conform to experimental data. That would be a good question to ask, and I would answer it by saying I have means by which you could falsify my claims. And there's a couple of different ways in which I've presented where you can falsify the idea of the system in general. If the system's wrong, then, for example, you'll never get TI polar and SI polar in the same person. And you can certainly, set clear enough baselines for those skills conversions, you might call them, and falsify the system by demonstrating that you got those two deficits concurrent in one person. That would be one means of falsifying it. So in that regard, when you ask whether systems are scientifically valid, this is the thing to remember as well. I was thinking about this last night. Science is that which we draw a distinction between the impractical world and the practical world, because there's different tests of validity in each of them. So practical utility is a legitimate test of validity for things in a certain frame, but it's not a legitimate test for validity for all information in and of itself. So, okay, well, look, Tatum, the core thing there is we have to understand what it means to say the terms scientifically valid. We have a couple of different meanings to those terms. And so one thing is a valid theory or hypothesis or something, it makes predictions that can be either verified or falsified. So my system does make those kind of predictions. It makes a couple of them, not a lot, but we're able to make links to the concrete world satisfactorily to make some predictions at least, which is what makes it sort of an operationalized framework rather than a non-operationalized one. It doesn't have any layout in advance, but I'm explaining. It's like the problem is, I don't think so. No, frankly. I mean, not of the sort that could be verified or falsified. Because it's like, to verify or falsify these predictions, you have to make sure that you're testing something that is independent of interpretation. So the results of a TI skills tests are much less dependent on interpretation than are the results of of some other kind of cognitive function test that's perhaps linked to either self-reporting, values, whatever, stuff like that. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Anchor Jason Blood. Hi, Bacon. Hi, Winter. Hi, Jake Hurwitz. Hey, Anchor Jason Blood, are you Effie Polar by any chance? If you are, may I just say high five and thank you for being so? Because it seems like Effie Polar people are the only people that I can be really a dick to sometimes, and then they just brush it off right away, which I appreciate. I really do. It's nice. It's a quality that I value in INTJs and ISTJs, because I can sometimes go off and be a dick. Who's boomy? Who's bummy? Who are you talking about? Me? Am I bummy? Boomy? Boomy bummy? I don't know. Anyway, so I'll have this debate with Jack about socionics. It's fine. Is it going to be easy to dismantle? No, because like I said, as somebody else mentioned here, Winter, I think, said, it's like, what even is socionics trying to do? It's descriptively strong, but mechanically weak. Yeah. He'd say they don't, probably. This is bummy. Is it pronounced bummy or boomy? That's not very flattering. Karl Popper came up with rules like falsifiability. Right. Okay. So look, that's an interesting comment there, Winter. I'm glad to hear it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that somebody was credited with coming up with some concept like falsifiability being important. I mean, look, there are a lot of theories, though, in which we do have falsifiability and they make predictions. And those are sort of the most concrete physical science theories, things like relativity or, motion, the mechanics of bodies in motion in space and stuff like that, astrophysics and so forth. Those sort of things make predictions that have within them implicit falsifiability, that if the prediction is proved to be correct, then it's imagined that it's more likely the model that makes that prediction is correct in its basic concept, right? There are other ways we can test models, theories, or whatever. You're gonna learn how to be epipolar in therapy. Okay, well, Bummy, the almost nude crazy old guy, is just like me, is pretty unflattering. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Winter, that it's necessarily the case that one's a better philosopher of science by doing actual experiments. I suspect that, the thing is, there are two modalities of understanding something. You either understand it in terms of its practical implications, you understand it in terms of its validity outside of those. There's a reason why people do research. Okay, well, Waldo Ludowski. So that would give us a good reason to doubt quantum theory at the moment. But note that predicting that something exists and predicting that a certain test that we could later, you got to understand that you have to have a way to test something, okay? So let's look at how Waldo Ludowski is making a mistake intellectually here. When I make a prediction with a theory or model, it doesn't necessarily mean I know how to test for that thing yet. Now, at some point, there'll be a clear test that will decide the matter definitively one way or the other, as was the case with, of course, plate tectonics, okay? Are you listening, Waldo, or are you talking? You should be listening right now. So making a prediction and it failing to be confirmed or verified is a state in addition to confirming or falsifying the prediction. So there are three, do you hear me? Things can as yet be unconfirmed or unfalsified. They can be confirmed or they can be falsified. Understand? Okay. So, that does not, the fact that something can be, that there are some things that haven't actually been tested to falsify or confirm yet doesn't invalidate anything I was saying about the process of falsification. That's my point, Waldo. So when you came in and say, hey, I don't think so, you were ignoring that. Okay. Bose-Einstein condensate created during Big Bang. Well, that would be a possible explanation of sort of a mechanism that's not explained in the original prediction of the stuff, right? But it still doesn't actually either verify or falsify anything. But regardless, I don't want to get sidetracked into quantum theory. What we're talking about basically is ways that we can distinguish something that's simply metaphor from something that's trying to do more than just metaphor, which is to say have some sort of mechanical explanation that represents something real, although invisible. A lot of things in life attempt to do this, and we take them seriously. And we take them seriously because the explanations validate with data. Okay, so we do have to have some sort of link to external data, and also because they validate with logic. So we need them to make logical sense as well. The point is, if you do neither, like Socionics does neither, then it's not even a theory or a model or anything. It's just a bunch of metaphor. In other words, there's a qualitative rather than just a quantitative difference between the kinds of things that Socionics is doing and what I'm doing. The difference might be called intellectual discipline. To make a case for something, you have to define a lot of parameters to successfully make a case. It's like you can't make a case out of nothing. And so the problem is, for trying to explain what I'm talking about in general, is that it's very complicated. It makes me mad when people try to dissemble and mush things out into less clarity than they actually have, because it's complicated. It involves a lot of explanation. Okay, so like, yeah, they don't. That thing we use, don't reevaluate theory, just add fairy dust. That's what socionics does. That's what everything seems to do all the time. Evolution does that shit. It's like, oops, you mean all this stuff pointed out makes my theory seem like bullshit? Well, let me just dissemble away. Oh well, we don't. No, again, do something real. Be real about shit. You know what I'm saying? Hi, I'm ranting.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be out of your head.
I love you.
I love you.
I use my heart and my feelings to love you.
I use my heart and my feelings to love you too.
You're number one in my book, lady.
You're number one in my book, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Don't leave your sunglasses.
They are. Oh, don't leave mine. Thank you.
Yeah. That was Rachel. She's my wonderful woman person. My big mummer. So anyhow, I don't know. I'm not going to lecture in a super long time tonight. I just wanted to rant a little bit about Socionics. Saturday, 3 p.m., I got a debate. Sorry. And it looks like Jack won that first round, which was whether or not we were going to schedule it. But he lost that first round and winning it. He would have been better off leaving it unscheduled. You know, he would have been better off because now I'm going to be thinking about it the whole time between now and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we should agree to cross-examination rules, which is to say each person gets their own cross-examination and they control their own cross. So if you ask the questions, you can cut the person off and have them stop answering and answer a different question as you see fit. It applies
As you see fit. It shouldn't be the whole life through, right?
No. This is just the cross-examination periods. So each person should have time for speaking speeches and for answering questions and asking questions. Those are the three main things that need to happen. It needs to be some kind of, ideally begin with a cross-examination by each side. Then then follow that with some speeches by each side. And then another cross-examination by each side, another round of speeches by each side. That's what it should be. Because it's like, that's how it is in Lincoln Douglas debate, where you've got cross-examination where the asker controls the cross. So when Jack's asking me questions, if I start answering in a way he doesn't like, he can cut me off. But likewise, if he starts wasting time with his answer, I can cut him off too.
How did this start? Like, I'm not meaning the whole month thing. Like, I know that it's been going on for months.
It started this time because among my excerpted videos, I excerpted one where I talked some shit about socionics. And then after I watched the one I had excerpted and put up, I was unhappy with it because it only covered a little bit. So then I made a longer one where I covered it in more detail. Now, and in that one, I call out Jack. Now, Jack, being need to be, of course, has to respond to that. And basically calling him chicken guarantees he can't back out of this now because he's an EHB too, and he's just like, fuck, now I gotta throw it out. He only really made one mistake here, and that was in scheduling in advance. He's doing the best he can, and he's going to spend Socionics as best he can. He's going to dissemble as best he can, and try to make things less clear rather than more. But it's not going to work. It'll work somewhat, but at the end of the day, he'll be running around the ring trying not to get knocked out. And I'll be chasing him around the ring. There's no doubt who's going to be on offense here and who's going to be on defense. The reason being, of course, again, I want to stress, this is not about debate skills. Okay? This is totally about the fact that I'm way righter about this shit than Socionics. That's why I'm going to win. What are you talking about? What am I calling gibberish before reading what they're saying? I've read a lot of Socionics shit. You saying about Socionics? I've read shit tons of Socionics stuff. It is, in fact, mostly gibberish. Oh, what are you talking about then? Right. That's a big problem with information metabolism. I'm not calling it nonsense. I don't know about that. I am conceding right off the bat. I don't know about dark matter. I don't think it's nonsense or not or whatever. I'm not taking out any position on it. I don't know enough about it to take out any position on it. If you're talking to me. Winston's mom is considering getting an electric bike. How fun! That's a good idea.
Well, yeah, the electric scooter was a lot of fun.
Right.
So
yeah, we had a lot of fun on the electric
really
scooter.
Fun. Yeah.
And
we gotta get me a bike.
Yeah, we do need to get you a bike.
No urgency, but that's a great idea. I think she would really like that.
We didn't get you flip flops. I forgot about that again. I
keep forgetting to.
I forget. Okay, Winter. Well, I'll have to take your word for it, but I understand. I'm not making any such claims. I don't know enough about it. Can dark matter be Bose-Einstein condensate? You find it to be more helpful and it's less ambiguous. First of all, I would disagree about the ambiguity point entirely. That's if you're not using definitions as qualities of ambiguity. You're only using utility for it. It may be more helpful to you, but is it helping you be more right or wrong? Oh, did it? So what am I supposed to do about that? I don't know how to deal with that. Participants. I'll have to figure out how to unhide him. I don't know. Akuma's deception? No, sorry. Am I supposed to? Oh, your FI did. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
No problem. So anyway, You don't think he minds? Well, I mind. I like Cloud. If words aren't important, word for speech people. Cloud. But words aren't unimportant to you. There's the problem in that little calculation. I have a lot of faith in the new name for my penis, Jean Attell. Have you guys heard about that lady, that famous comedian lady, Amy Schumer? You heard about what happened with her? She named her child Jean Attell Schumer until a few days passed and she realized her child's name sounded like genital. So she changed it to Gene David. Hambone, god damn it. I had so much faith in you. You just had to pull an epically nuclear blowout, huh? But did you hear what I just said? She named her child Jean Attell. That's definitely the new name for my penis. My Jean Attell has has needs that aren't being met right now. I keep trying to she didn't try. It was an accident. She changed it to Gene David shortly thereafter. She named him Jean Attell because she wanted to pay homage to some friend of hers whose last name was Attell. And so she wanted to name the kid's first name like after his after like his godfather or something, Gene, and middle name after Attell, and didn't think about it until a couple days passed and was like, oh shit, we gotta change this. I named my kid Genital. I've accidentally named my kid Genital. My girlfriend just asked, how do you expect people to take me seriously? How do I expect people to take me seriously? I mean, if you're not judging on anything intelligent, I guess I don't expect you to take me seriously. Because you're obviously not judging on a serious metric. So, you know, if you don't want to be a serious thinker, then you're not going to obviously think seriously about things. I don't know if Amy Schumer's an ENFP or not. She's funny. She might very well be an ENFP. It's certainly plausible. Well, she can shake her head until it falls off. It won't hurt her thinking any. Too mean and brazen to be taken seriously. You know, everyone's girlfriends can fuck off. All right? Is that mean and brazen enough for you? Hey, Jake's girlfriend, fuck off. Hey, email Antar's girlfriend, I got this for you. Hey, I got one of these too. Here you go. I got two of them. Congratulations. They're both for you. There. Oops, did I do it again? Oops, I did it again. Just like Britney Spears. I'm always pulling a Britney Spears, aren't I? Well, you know, some people enjoy my spirited repartee, others not so much. That's to be expected, you know. And my mood changes a lot too. Sometimes I'm in this mood, sometimes I'm in a nice mood. Depends. Hey, bro, what am I gonna do about this cloud problem you've created, huh? What am I going to do about this cloud problem? Yeah, that's me. Oops, I did it again. I played with your heart when I was a something. Oh yeah, and yeah, yeah, bam, 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 bam. I'm not that serious. Hambone, it's not an opportunity, okay? I do want him. I already decided that a long time ago, or else I would have banned him myself. God damn it. Email answer, you can't say that kind of shit. This must be nice. She's your girlfriend. You have to love her with all your heart. You got to be a sexual instinctual variant. Be a sexual instinctual variant, and you'll be fine. My daughter doubts that I'm a debate coach. She says you would never get people to agree with you because you're too rude. Let me get a link to one of my debate videos. Although I took most of them down because I have kids in them. Yeah. Maybe one or two left. Let me see. Here we go. I took a lot of them down, but there's one. Well, it's just because they're being really like fussy about shit right now on YouTube. It's just anything that can be used against me, no matter how innocent it is, people try to use it against me. So, I mean, there could be nothing more innocent than my debate coaching job. Princess Derek here. 9,000 minutes at the Lorraine tournament. Home. AUTONOMY autonomy debate. What debate tournament? 10th place speaker. My debaters. Yeah, if you look about 51 seconds, you'll see my debate team. A certain amount of FE is involved. Now, granted, in competition flow debate, FE is still the same thing it is in real debate, in like real life arguing, which is it's something that'll get you in trouble if you don't pay enough attention to it. And I'm aware that it gets me into trouble when I don't pay enough attention to it. My debaters are not me, so they go in having taken my lessons and applying them as best they can. Yeah, that's right. Here, Anchor Jason Blood. I'll make you a moderator temporarily. Now you can post blanks. Well, I don't know how to fix that, Cloud. I'll look into it soon, hopefully. Speaking of Depends, am I wearing yours? I don't wear Depends. How much coverage in the Bolton debate? I mean, so look, the thing is, it boils down to this. You need to win the arguments, but perceptual dominance is important too, and calmness is a part of that. Calm and steady is part of that. I keep trying to tell people, but nobody really listens to me or believes me or something. I am not trying to debate people in general when I'm having debates with them. I'm actually trying to get to the bottom of the thing and get to the truth. I've had enough competition debate in my life. So when I get frustrated, it's because the other person's trying to engage in rhetorical battle with me rather than actual discourse. Whereas you're always doomed to try to if I were playing rhetorical battle with you, God damn it, it's frustrating. It's hard to even explain to people. Just work with me is what I want people to do. Work with me intellectually. Answer my questions. Learn some things. I'll try to learn things from them too. You know, it's like, for God's sakes. But people make things adversarial all the time. I make things adversarial because I can tell people aren't going to be cooperative with me. What are the 3 flaws you identify, Winston's mom? The third is not a problem for any specific school, which might be correct in and of itself. So I wouldn't use that as a problem, but I'm assuming Jack's coming in with a specific socionics understanding and arguing that one to be correct. But I could be wrong about that. He could try to dissemble on that, in which case that would be a problem. The second, that's a utilitarian objection. It's not the sort of thing that I think is necessarily a problem. I don't exactly have a clear defined typing method, although it's fairly well defined, but it's not like laid out on. The biggest complaints about my model is that it's incomplete. There's a lot of parts to it that I still need to do, but I'm doing it by myself. You know, nobody's helping me with it, unfortunately. I wish people would help me with it, but I don't know how to get people to help me with it in a way that I would find helpful or something. I don't know. So that's why I feel sad in my heart of hearts. Oh, sad in my heart of hearts. Understanding but smelling parts of ignorance everywhere I go. It makes me sad. Oh, boo, ho, 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 ho. That's boo hoo hoo and Christmas talk. Bo ho ho. Yeah, I'm a Disney princess is right. Philostronomy, that's called, Winter. Philostronomy. Oh, one day my prince will come. When his daughter viewed to his lighting, his wife cut his hair, and while they were painting, his daughter came in and started using the tremor on the daddy. Oops. Anchor Jason Blood, what a coincidence. My background is also in nuclear fusion physics. How great. With a minor in nuclear fission physics. And I got my master's in nuclear fusion physics. If you're not familiar with that sub-branch of nuclear physics. I'm glad you specified fusion physics, nuclear fusion physics. Because otherwise we might have mistakenly thought that you were talking about nuclear fission physics. What am I doing right now? I don't know. Just me being me, dog. Just Eric being Eric. I guess I woke up from that nap a little bit grumpy and determined to take it out on Jack from Socionics. Any silliness indeed. So anyways, Ellen Black, you can show your daughter the video of me being a debate coach. I'm highly successful, actually. So the thing is, of course, I'm not the same person in front of a class that I am on this YouTube channel. Although I'm pretty similar, actually. But we're working. We're focused on what we're doing. You know, we're working on the debate material. We're not talking about nonsense like how to be rude or not rude. This guy here, adjudicating the back and forth. Way to adjudicate, Judge Reinhold. That's my nickname for you from now on, Sky Gary. You're Judge Reinhold. Rachel, my darling, would you like this coffee you made for yourself? Would you like this coffee you made for yourself? You forgot about it? Oh, he made your American.
No, this one is from my brother. This one's crap. I said, I said,
It's okay, no. Of course I know it.
I know this is fun.
It's only fun until you get the answer you don't like. Then it's trouble for me. You don't know. Don't worry. Then you're going to get it till death. They're not telling us how long away that's going to be. It could be 100 years.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not.
Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel. Thank you, Winston's mom. Please continue. I'll read this. I feel like I'm floating on a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand.
What's that from?
It's an old jazz standard. I don't know what it's from. It's probably been in some movies, but it was written by Earl Garner. It's been sung covered by a lot of different people, including
I didn't
me.
know that was jazz.
Yeah, jazz music.
Wow. I like that song. I've heard of it before. Well, you sing it. I've heard of it before. That as well. But I wouldn't have categorized it as jazz. I probably would have had trouble categorizing it.
Maybe dark matter is the energy of jazz music in the universe. Have we considered that possibility?
It is. What's country then?
Oh, that's brown matter.
Yeah, that is.
I'm pretty sure I found dark matter on a couple of occasions, but I couldn't tell you what it was or what it looked like or anything, but I'm pretty sure I had some for a second there. Yo, bro, you want to buy a teener of dark matter? Yeah, do you know that you buy dark matter in the same quantities as you do drugs? You can get a teener of dark matter for like $80. That'll last you a couple of days. All right. Well, I gotta go. I'm tired of live streaming now. I am on sleepy week, so not a lot of energy, not a lot of enthusiasm for a whole lot of anything. But I do see a very gorgeous and precious kitty princess under the chair there, and so that's always nice to see. Goodbye, good friends, good night, and send your love off to the world.